So, hello folks, I am Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by three-ball spare conglomerate Terry Ballard at Ari Liebamnn in this Class F North match, round 16, on this Saturday afternoon at Leda Lanes. It's good as always to have you along with us. At about 2:04 p.m. local time, Terry Ballard, Terry Churn Butter, is our away bowler, and he will have the honors of throwing the inaugural first pitch on lane 5 here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Mr. Churn Butter starts off to the left of the headpin. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. And he'll nearly spare it up, all but the 8 falls. Piece of wood settling down there. For the 10 box. For the opening ball, or opening box, it's going to be 10 for Terry Ballard. So, folks, I'd like to highlight a couple of things. First, this broadcast should have subtitles and live captioning enabled, so if you enjoy this feature, please feel free to enable it in the controls below. If you're watching this broadcast on YouTube, the transcript feature will also likely be available. And that's Terry Ballard. To the left of the headpin, a bit of a thin hit, not quite a half Worcester with an extra pin down. Folks, throughout the match, I'll describe the play-by-play action and provide up-to-the-minute scoring to the best of my ability. Keep an eye on the unofficial scoreboard on your screen. It's here for the benefit of the broadcast. The bowlers maintain the official book records separately. And Terry Ballard on the second box will check in with a 9. I may occasionally pause to verify if scores seem out of sync. I appreciate your patience when that happens. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, there may be times where I may include some notes in the description if I catch scoring errors in post-production, so please be sure to check those out if there are any. And Terry Ballard is on the headpin. It's a talon spread eagle minus the 7. It's the 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. And Terry will churn down the 3 pin. 5 box or greater. And a 5 box it shall be. That's going to be 24 after 3 for Mr. Churn Butter. Terry Ballard, his nickname is Terry Churn Butter. I'll use them interchangeably, just to be fun. He's in Class F North Division 1. He's subbed in from Michael Brown in the middle of the season. And he's just off to the left on the 7 pin, poking out 1. Terry Ballard hasn't bowled a whole lot of matches because he is substituting in, but with those 4 matches he's played, he's currently 45-11 with a 4.09 win-loss ratio. Second ball is significantly better. He leaves the 3, the 8, and the 9 on the deck. And Ballard will poke 1 more out, and it will be an 8 box. A good out. 32 after 4 for Mr. Ballard. Terry Ballard comes to us as our away bowler. When he's away, he has a season record so far of 12-2. Only 1 match so far, but it's a great record, 12-2. And there's a strike for Terry Ballard with a boom. An audible boom. What a way to end the half, too. Let's take a look at this. I think I got it on replay. Replay is behaving for the moment, but look at that strike by Terry Churn Butter. And there's the boom. Oh, yeah. That was a great one. So, strike in the 5th for Terry Ballard. That's 42 after 5. For Terry Ballard, 2 for 5 on the headpin with 1 split. And now we'll say hello to Mr. Ari Liebamnn, our home bowler. It's the first time both of these bowlers are appearing on my program. Terry Ballard first, and now Ari Liebamnn. Ari Liebamnn, also in Class F North Division 1, has a record of 121-75 after 14 matches. And he'll open up with a split and a 6 drop. 4-6-2-10. And Liebmann's off to the left. Third ball for Ari Liebamnn. He'll take an 8 to open up. Ari Liebamnn, he bowls in the Thursday night Reed's Ferry Athletic Association League at Leda Lanes. Actually, my team just bowled his team. Not last week, but a week prior. He has a home record of 68-16 here at Leda Lanes. That's a 4.25 win-loss ratio. And he'll drop 5 and leave the bucket on the right. 5, 6, 3, 9, 10. And he'll take 2 of the 5 off the bucket. Leaves the 6 triangle. 6, 9, 10 for Ari Liebamnn. And he'll 10 up the triangle for 18 after 2, checking in with the 10 box. 8 box, then 10 box for Ari Liebamnn. Perfect on the headpin so far. 18 after 2 with 1 split. Terry Ballard 2 for 5 on the headpin with 1 split. Both bowlers evenly matched in that statistical department. No mark has yet to be thrown. We'll see what happens here. Plenty of boxes to go here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Ari Liebamnn, he'll poke out the 6, and that will be a lemon drop. Something Candlepins for Cancer likes to have a playful pool for. It's the first ball punch out on the 4 of the 6 pin. That's a $1 donation to Candlepins for Cancer per occurrence. Paul Grant is always watching, whether he's here or not. Ari Liebamnn will take a few more out for the road. It's the 1, the 5, the 3, the 8, the 9, and the 10 on the deck. And Ari Liebamnn will punch down the center. A little full, leaving the 3 and the 10 on the deck. And it will be an 8 box. 26 after 3 for Mr. Liebamnn. Ari has a season average of 95.5. When he's on the road, he has a record of 53-59, so his record is much better when he's home versus away. His home average is 96.0, and he's on the pocket. Drops 7, 3, 6, 10. He's currently 3 for 4 on the headpin with 1 split. 3, 6, 10 for Ari Liebamnn. Here he goes. Oh, he was just off to the left. Bit of a misfire. And 2 misses in a row for Ari Liebamnn. That'll be a 7 box, leaving a mark and a 10 box on the table. That's 33 after 4 for Mr. Liebamnn. Ari's high single for the season so far has been 128, and his high series is 531. When he's on the road, his average is 95.13. Ari Liebamnn, off to the right, mixes down a few additional pins. And we'll see where we go with this. A fullish hit on the center pocket should be enough to take this out, but it starts with hitting it. He tails off to the right and takes only the 9. It'll be a 5 box. For Mr. Liebamnn, 38 after 5 for Ari. Although I think that was only 2 balls. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought something was up. Definitely thought that I missed a ball, but actually, no, he reset after 2 balls. So, unfortunately, that 5 box is on the record, though. Ari Liebamnn, I was just double checking. I looked up the scoreboard. I was like, hold on, I think that was only 2 balls. This ain't 10-pin bowling, Ari. So, 38 after 5 for Ari Liebamnn. 42 after 5 for Terry Ballard, who started immediately. Drops 6 so far on the strike. That's not a bad opener for the strike fill. And that's a spare on strike for Terry. Again with his signature. Ugh, or whatever that is. Let's watch that again, shall we? That's the 1, the 4, the 7, and the 8 for Terry Ballard. And I think I got the pump at the end. Look at that go. And then he goes, ugh. The replay always seems to end right on that. I kind of like that. We'll see if my replay system holds steady for the rest of the match. Sometimes it kind of works for the first few replays, and then it kind of gets weird, but we'll see what happens. And Terry's off to the left. That's a 6-pack and the 7. So it's a 3 fill, 65 in 6. That is confirmed. Terry's off to the right. Leaves the 1, the 6, and the 10 on the deck. So he had a spare on strike. Came off the bench hot. And Terry will take a 7 box. That's 72 in 7 for Mr. Ballard. Terry Ballard, home record of 33-9 with 3 matches played with a 3.67 win-loss ratio. He has a season average so far of 100.75. I also remind you that he subbed in for Michael Brown mid-season, so some of his numbers may seem low, but that is perfectly normal because he's just got a bit of ground to make up is all. He'll drop 6, 1, 3, 8, 10. And Terry will punch all but the 8. And that will be a 9 box for Mr. Ballard. Terry Ballard has an away average of 101.8. And he is away today. And he'll split 5. 7-10-4-6-3 for Terry Ballard. And just a little bit off the 3-pin. He wanted to connect with the 3-6 pocket, but just overshot it by just a little bit. And it will be a 7 in the 9th for Terry Ballard. That's 88 in 9 for Mr. Ballard. He's currently 3 for 9 on the head pin with 2 splits. When Terry Ballard is home, I believe his home house is Academy Lanes, if I'm not mistaken. He has a home average of 99.7 with a high single of 129 and a high series of 523. He has 8 strikes, 35 spares, and 35 10 boxes for the season so far. Again, only 4 matches played. But we'll celebrate the stats no matter what. He'll split 6, 2, 3, 6, 10 on the deck. On Terry, right idea. Again, just a little overshooting just slightly to the right of the 3-pin. 2, 3, 10. Potential 98 first game. 95 guarantee. That 95 will be the first game for Mr. Churn Butter. 2 marks in. He has 95 with a strike and a spare. 4 for 10 on the head pin with 3 splits is what he's going to check in with. So that will be the benchmark for Ari Liebamnn to meet or exceed in the first game. Here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, I'm Steve Kelly on the call on this Saturday afternoon at Leda Lanes. Great to have you along with us. It is a rainy, stormy day in Nashua, New Hampshire today. And you know what that means at a lot of bowling centers? That means people are going to be pouring into the bowling alleys for some bowling. And you can even see around me, some folks are even piling into the lanes to the left of us even. So rainy days are big business days for bowling alleys. I can tell you that having worked at Leda a long time ago. And I remember anytime there was precipitation in the forecast, that was that meant dollar signs to the business. For sure. And you can just prove that. Just look at all these people walking in from in the background there. You can see that. Ari Liebamnn working on a mark. He had the big check mark, and he leaves the 1 and the 2 on the mark attempt. 1 and the 2 for an 8, 9, or 10 box for Mr. Liebamnn. And he'll take the 1 and leave the 2. That's a 9 box for Ari Liebamnn. That's 47 in 6. 47 in 6 compared to 65 in 6 for Terry Ballard. 3 headpin shots for 6 and 1 split for Ari Liebamnn so far. Mr. Liebamnn on the pocket, a big splash and a splash of 8. 4-10. Gonna see what happens here. Be an interesting... It's going to be a difficult shot. Interesting, I don't know, but difficult for sure. Got to cut the 4 in some way. Ari misses it to the right. For the 8, 9, or 10 box for Ari Liebamnn. And oof, no luck there. The wood deflects the ball. That's an 8 in the 7th box for Ari Liebamnn, 55-7. Ari Liebamnn has 22 strikes, 97 spares, and 122 10 boxes for the season. He has a perfect box percentage of 34% with 6,685 seasonal total pins. And Ari was to the left of the head pin. 7, 8, 10, 6, 1 is what he's shooting at. There's no wood to help him. Looking to spare it up. And he'll take the 8. Leaving the 1, the 7, the 10, the 6, the high-low jack, and the supervisor. Supervisor working overtime. Oh, and what a nice 10 box for Ari Liebamnn, though. That was a great one. In fact, I really like the way that wood even connected. Let's watch that again. I know it was just a 10 box, but let's watch this. No wood. This is a hard shot. He was to the right of the head pin, mixed the 6 and the 10, and he kicked the head pin over to the 7. Ari Liebamnn is going into the head pin on the 1-3 pocket. Nice mix of 8, 4, 7 is what he's shooting at. Ari Liebamnn in a must-mark situation. He hasn't thrown a mark today just yet, and he'll punch 1 and leave 1. Just tailed off to the left by a little bit. And that will be a fouled 9 box for Ari Liebamnn. That's 74-9. Ball just tailed off. He's just going to key that in as a foul on the electronic scoreboard at Leda Lanes. Ari Liebamnn is currently first place in Class F North Division 1, and he's the number 2 seed in Class F North overall. Compare that to Terry Ballard, who is currently in 6th place in Class F North Division 1 and the 11th seed in Class F North overall. But again, Terry Ballard has a lot of matches to make up as he was a mid-season substitute for Michael Brown. And that's Ari Liebamnn, who drops 6 to the right of the head pin this time, 1, 2, 5, 7. Ari Liebamnn, 1 of 14 matches with shutout victories, 8 of 14 matches with double-digit wins. He's just a little bit off target for the spare shot. Ari's looking for an out to keep the total at least somewhat close, and it looks like it's going to be an 8 box for 82 in the first game for Ari Liebamnn. So Terry Ballard will take the first game with 95, and Ari Liebamnn will go markless for 82 in the first game. It's out of possible 14 points for the match. 2 points have been awarded to Terry Ballard so far. There's still 12 points up for grabs, 4 for total pinfall, and we have 8 across the next 4 games. So plenty of point distribution to go around here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. And we were going to be right back with Terry Ballard on lane 5, our away bowler, in the second game of 5 to start things out. Terry Ballard. Terry churn butter. The butter is churning. He's off to the left of the head pin, and he drops 6, 1, 5, 3, 8. And Terry is just a little bit off to the right of the head pin. He connects with the pins in the back. Leaves the 1 and the 8. And Ballard will miss to the right. That's an 8 box. 8 after 1 for Ballard. Terry Ballard has a 39% perfect box percentage so far. 2,005 seasonal total pins. It was a good year overall. Terry Ballard has 1 of 4 matches with shutout victories, and 3 of his 4 matches have double-digit victories. That means 10 points or higher. And there's a strike for Terry Ballard. Where's the boom? There's the boom. Terry Ballard bringing the boom. And I did capture a replay of that, so check this out. Terry Ballard. Look at that. Right there. And there's the boom. Love it. Terry Ballard has 2 strikes today and 1 mark. Terry Ballard on average goes 21.5 for 50 on the head pin, 7.5 splits per match on average. And he's Well, the first ball was off to the left, and he took a bunch of the back row out. This next ball completes the strike fill. It'll be a nice 7 fill on the strike, leaving the 3-6-10. That's a story of Terry Ballard in the second box, 25, and with that 10 box, it's 35 after 3. Terry Ballard coming all the way up from Haverhill, Massachusetts, is Academy Lanes. That's his home house. Drove safe today, especially in today's very interesting weather. And he almost throws another strike. He drops 9, leaves the 5 on the deck. He's had 2 strikes so far, and he's been and both of those strikes have been pretty definitive. And on the single, the wood deflects the pin, or deflects the ball, that is. Wasn't for lack of trying, certainly, Mr. Ballard. And Terry Ballard will take a 9 box for 44 after 4. Current status. Here's Terry Ballard's stats in case you missed it. He's currently the 11th seed. He has 4 matches played. Again, he's subbing in for Michael Brown in Class F North, Division 1. Season after 100.75. And here he goes. Opening pitch of the 5th frame. And whoa, that was a very slow-moving strike. That was one heck of a strike. Yeah, watch this. Actually, my replay buffer wasn't long enough to capture the whole thing, but yeah, you saw that. Just pins mixed down very slowly. So after 5, it's 54 with 2 strikes for Terry Ballard. 54 and a bonus to be continued. 3 for 5 on the head pin this game. 7 for 15 on the head pin with 3 splits overall. That's a story for Terry Ballard. Getting quite comfortable here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on the road. Now we have Ari Liebamnn, who fell to Terry Ballard in the first game, 82 to Terry Ballard's 95. Here we go, Ari Liebamnn. Oh, and he's on the pocket, well, on the head pin, and it looked like a spread eagle at first, but a bunch of extra pins mixed down. It's a split of 5, 7, 8, 10, 6, 3. This will be an interesting leave for Ari Liebamnn. Oh, and he rides that rail on the right side, but takes the 6 and the 10. It's the 3, the 7, and the 8 left on the deck now. He had the right idea. He wanted to connect with the 3-6 pocket and send the 3 to the back row of the 7-8, while hopefully the ball would take the 6 and the 10, but didn't quite work out that way. Starts with aiming it a little bit on the correct object, but Ari will take a 9 after 1. Let's see, Ari Liebamnn has a head pin average of 15.6 for 50, generally. He has a split average of 8.2 per match. In his past 5 matches, he's taken 33 points, averaging 6.6 per match. And that's Ari Liebamnn. Mixes 6, 7, 10, 2, 4. And Ari is just a little bit to the right of the object 2 pin. He kicks the wood, which takes the 6 and the 4 and the 7. The 2 and the 10 are left. 8, 9, or 10 box for Ari Liebamnn with an 8 box guarantee. And he'll take 1 stick and leave 1 stick. 2 9s in a row. 18 after 2 for Ari Liebamnn. 2 head pin shots, 2 splits. And in case you missed it, Terry Ballard has thrown 3 strikes so far, and his most recent strike in the 5th frame was a very slow-moving burn down of the 10 pins, but doesn't matter how you burn them down, or if you slow roast them, or fast roast them, or air fry them, it doesn't matter as long as you take 10 in the first ball. Strikes are strikes. Ari Liebamnn on lane 5. To the right of the head pin, drops 6. 1, 2, 4, 8. Yeah, Leda Lanes is filling up pretty good right now. Every passing second, more and more people are filing in. We actually turned, ooh, and almost a spare for Ari Liebamnn. We actually didn't have all the lights on this side for a little while, and now they're all getting turned on because more people keep filing in. Like to see a busy bowling alley, for sure. Ari Liebamnn will take a 9. That's 3 9s in a row now for 27 after 3. That's a story for Ari Liebamnn so far. Ari Liebamnn has 3 out of 14 matches at or over 500 in grand total pinfall. His longest streak of strings at or over 100 has been 3 so far. And Ari will poke the 4-pin out for a lemon drop. It's a $1 donation to candle pins per cancer per occurrence. And Ari's in the 1-3 pocket there. Much better ball. 7 and 8 are left on the deck with Home Depot down there. Ari Liebmann just needs to effectively play the wood. And he takes the 10. 37 after 4 for Mr. Liebmann. Ari Liebmann's been struggling in terms of the marks today. He's yet to throw a strike or a spare. But a 5th box could be a great one to sit on. He's on the head pin there, and hey, I should open up a psychic service or something, because that was the strike that we were hoping that Ari Liebmann would get. Look at that. There's the strike. Goes down, and the 8-pin is the last to fall. That was the strike for Ari Liebmann. He's at 47 and a bonus after 5. Both bowlers on a strike in the 5th. Terry Ballard, 54 and a bonus after 5. 1.5 games in, 149 for Terry Ballard, 129 for Ari Liebmann, a difference of 20 in the total for Terry Ballard, and up in the game by 7. Not counting the fills just yet. Here we go, Terry Ballard on a strike. On the strike. So far, he drops 5. 1, 3, 5, 8, 9. And to fill the strike, he'll mix down 9. 63 and 5 for Terry Ballard. And Ballard will take a 9 in the 6th for 72. Mr. Churn Butter. Churning that butter. Hot and tasty. In his past 5 matches, Terry has taken 45 points, averaging 9 per match. And actually, sorry, his past 4 matches. Sorry, I reserved that stat for the past 5 matches, but Terry is in a unique situation right now where he's only bowled 4, so not past 5 matches, past 4 matches. And he'll mix down 8 to 8 on the head pin. Terry Ballard has 3 out of his 4 matches at or over 500 in grand total pinfall. Front pin goes, sleeper pin doesn't. The 2-8 is a hard shot to make. It's like the inverse half Worcester. Same if it's a 3-9. And Terry will take another 9 box. He has 3 9s this game, 81 and 7 for Mr. Ballard. Terry Ballard, his longest streak of strings at or over 100 this season has been 2 so far. And Ballard on the 1-3 pocket. An interesting hit, and it's going to be a mix of 7. It's the 4-5-7 on the deck. Let's actually take a look at this. 4-5-7 for Terry Ballard. Will he get the sweep? He tried to, but he hit it a little full. So, no sweep spare for Terry Ballard. But he'll pin it out for a 10 box. That's 91 and 8 for Mr. Ballard. He's only had 1 split this game so far. He has 5 headpin shots this game for 8 with 1 split. Overall, he's 9 for 18 on the headpin with 4 splits. Mr. Churnbutter on the 1-3 pocket. He's on the headpin with a split. That's his 10th headpin shot and his 5th split. 2-8-10. Overthrew that one a little bit. Wanted to cross over to the left, but stayed straight, unfortunately. And he does it again, a little bit closer to the object this time, but misses twice. That's 98 in 9 for Terry Churnbutter. I didn't get a chance to ask Terry what the story is behind the Churnbutter name. I know he has it on one of his shirts, and that's his name on Facebook, so if anyone knows the story, please let me know in the comments. So Terry, will he get the spare? His first ball was off target, the second ball was on target, but he leaves the 9 on the spare attempt. It looks good for a couple of seconds there. He'll get a nice 10 box, and that's an over 100 game. That's 108, game 2 for Mr. Terry Ballard. Very consistent on the head pin. He only missed four boxes on the head pin this game. 2 splits. And overall 10 for 20 on the head pin with 5 splits, 50%. It's a good quarterback rating for Terry Ballard. And the quantity of strikes that he's achieved in 2 games also definitely helps out. So, okay, Ari Liebamnn is presently working on a strike here, and it was his first mark of the day. Ari Liebamnn, come on, for the double on the 1-3 pocket. It was a good first ball. It looked good. He had a right to center crossover. That's similar to the ball I'm currently throwing, so I understand the sentiment. It's a very effective ball when it's on target. 7-10-4 for Terry Ballard. And he'll fill with 8. 55-5. See, 55-5 with only 1 mark. Sometimes it only takes 1 good mark to get right back in it. And Ballard will take an 8 box. 63-6. So again, here's Ari Liebamnn's stats again in Class F North Division 1, currently the number 2 seed. He's 121-75 after 14 matches played. This is his 15th match. He has 66-85 seasonal total pins. And another 1-3 pocket hit and a split. Again, his last 3 head pin shots have been strike balls. But in candlepin bowling, honestly, there's a bit of randomness to that. You can be right on it and still get something like this. 6 splits for Ari Liebamnn so far. Oh, and what a nice spare for Ari Liebamnn. Great, great, great spare. And let's look at that again. The 4-7-9. Look at that. He connected with the 4-7 pocket, which and the wood in front of the 9 helped clean everything up. All right, Ari Liebamnn might be back in this game now. He might have things figured out. Let's see if he crosses over in the 1-3 pocket once again. He does. He's done that 3 times in a row this half. Fills with 7. That's the 4-7-8. Score correction just needing to go in down there. Thank you, Terry, for putting that in. It's a 7 fill, 80-7. And will he get it? Oh, and he was a little bit off target. Probably just overthought it a little bit. We've all been there. He's left with a 4 pin for a 9 or 10 box for a potential 90 and 8 for Ari Liebamnn. And he'll take a 10. That's 90 in 8. Ari has only missed 2 head pin shots out of the 8 boxes this game. He has 4 splits. He's 11 for 18 on the head pin with 6 splits. So he's surpassed Terry in terms of the head pin department and split department by 1 so far, and he still has 2 boxes to go. So let's find out what happens here. And he'll miss the head pin to the right that time. Didn't quite cross over as much. The 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10 are left on the deck for Ari Liebamnn. Ari will connect with the 4 and take the 8. He leaves the 1, the 2, and the 10 for a 7 box or greater. 7 box guarantee for Ari Liebamnn. And Ari will just sail off to the right. He'll take a 7 box, and that's a 97 and 9. And now he definitely needs a mark. He needs a mark and a 1 fill to tie and anything greater to win the second game. So he's mounting a comeback with a strike and a spare in the second half. Or a strike right at the tail end of the first half, and then a spare. 2 high-powered fills of 8 and 7 kept him in this game. He's off to the left. Drops 5. 1, 3, 8, 9, 10 for Mr. Liebmann. Ari, for the spare, must mark. And it's not going to be a mark. That means it will be the second game in favor of Terry Ballard. Highest he can get is 107 now. Ari versus the head pin for a 10 box, 9 or 10. It'll be a 9, and he'll finish the second game with 106. 2-game total of 188 versus Terry Ballard's 2-game total of 203. And those scores are confirmed. Just double checking, and yes, 55% head pin completion percentage for Ari Liebamnn, 50% for Terry Ballard. So Ari is making some headway in some of the stats, some of these secondary stats, particularly with head pins. And he has only one more split than Terry Ballard, but Terry Ballard is kind of winning the overall perfect box percentage and mark metagame right now. Terry Ballard is on the 4-7 pocket, but mixes down 6, gets a wraparound. 4 pins in the center to shoot at. And he almost gets the spare. Again, missing the target pin, but leaves the target pin. And he'll take 9 in the first. Terry Ballard has a mountain of superlatives so far. He is the number 3 highest class F average at 100.75, and another strike for Mr. Ballard. Add it to his ledger, add it to his tab. Let's watch that again, shall we? Another strike for Terry Churn Butter, and look at that butter churn down there. It goes. 19 in a ball after 2 for Terry Ballard. Ballard 19 after 1 and a bonus on that strike, and he's off to the left. It's okay, you get 2 balls on a strike fill. He's got the one diamond and the 6 triangle. And it will be a fill of 5 on a strike. 24 after 2. Terry Ballard will 10 it out for 34 after 3. Good pinning. Excellent pinning for Terry Ballard. Terry Ballard has the number 4 Class F high single at 129, the 10th highest Class F total strikes at 8, the 10th highest Class F average strike fill at 7.25. Terry Ballard to the left of the head pin, mixes down 7, 153. And he's off to the left. For the 10 box, and nope, it'll be a 7 for Mr. Ballard. That's 41 after 4. With 1 strike and 1 10 so far, he's 11 for 24 on the head pin and has achieved 5 splits so far. 46% head pin completion percentage for Mr. Churn Butter. Terry Ballard to the left of the head pin. He'll take a half Worcester on the left side. Ballard on the half Worcester on the 1-3 pocket, and well, he certainly went for the correct pocket. He just got a weird mix of it. The 7, 4, and 5 are left on the deck for a 10 box, 7 box guarantee. And it'll take 1 out for an 8, leaving the 4 and the 5. That's 49 after 5 for Mr. Terry Ballard with 1 strike. That's his 4th strike of the match and 1 spare. Ari Liebamnn with 1 and 1 strikes and spares respectively. Terry Ballard is 11 for 25 on the head pin with 5 splits. Hope you're enjoying this match. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, provided to you by 3 Ball Spare Conglomerate. Great to have you along. Appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this content, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for all sorts of other matches. Streamed a bunch of matches this week, so plenty of them on the 3 Ball Spare YouTube channel, including highlights and tournaments and all kinds of other stuff. And Ari is a little bit off to the right of the head pin. Takes 2 out, not quite a lemon drop. 1 extra sleeper is down with it. Ari Liebamnn is on the head pin, and will he get the spare? He sure will. Cleaning up that mess. And I think I got that. Check this out. Check out the spare by Ari Liebamnn. That little fist bump. It's always fun to watch bowlers, have a positive reaction to their shots, It's a fun game, of course, especially when you're doing well. Ari Liebamnn to the left of the head pin. He'll fill with 4. 14 after 1. Oh, and it's another spare for Ari. Now he's kind of figuring things out, at least on the second ball, and that's important, as long as you can just get some cleanups. The skill of candlepin bowling has to do with getting the spares rather than the strikes. He was to the left of the head pin. He ran down the 4 horsemen in the sleeper and took the 7. Just doing a little bit of pin maintenance down there. Just get the decks cleared and everything, the gutters and all that. You know the story. Next ball is live. Ari. Oh, and he rides the rail on the right, and he'll fill with 2. I think he just overthought a little bit too much. That should be 26 after 2 for Ari Liebmann. That is confirmed. Liebmann's to the left of the headpin. Leaves the 1 and the 3 on the deck. For the 10 box with an 8 box guarantee, it's going to be an 8. He misses to the left. 34 after 3 for Ari Liebmann. So folks, if you're new to my program and just want to know a couple things about the scoreboard, here's a little reference for you. If we are so lucky to see double strikes, the 4 strikes and the 4 triangles in the corner will represent double strike. A filled box is a strike. A triangle is a spare. And the X represents 10. I know in 10 pin that can mean a strike, but here it means 10. Ari will take the 6-pack plus the 10. A 7-pack. Buy 6, get 1. Must be a sale at Shaw's or something going on. I don't know. And he'll connect with the center and punch out a few, leaving the 7 and the 10 for an 8 box or greater for Ari Liebmann. 7-10 split, 2 pieces of wood along the 10. And will he get the 7? He sure will. A 7-10 conversion for Ari Liebmann. I really liked how that looked also. Watch this. He connected with the wood, and the double buffered wood I think really helped create the bounce and the kickback to take the 7 pin. Here comes Ari. On the 1-2 pocket. Mixes 7, splits 7. 7, 10, 6. And this will be a doozy of a shot. But it goes! Oh my goodness! Beautiful shot by Ari Liebmann. That's another spare. 54 in 5. Plus a bonus. What a nice shot. Ari Liebmann has really come alive with these spares and converting some of these really, really difficult shots. And here's the replay on that. I was actually trying to fix a camera shot, and there it goes. But anyway, here's Terry Ballard, wasting no time. Off to the right of the head pin. Has a pile of pins to work with. And he'll take the 9. 1, 2, 5, 4, 8. And Ballard will go off to the left, and that will be a 5 box to open the second half here in the third quarter of the third game. So Ari Liebmann with a bit of a rebound in the first half of the third game. With 3 spares, went 12 for 25 on the head pin with 7 splits. Terry Ballard presently 11 for 26 on the head pin with 5 splits. And Terry Ballard will drop 7. That's the 2, the 4, and the 5 down there on the deck. The 2 triangle. Oh, and Terry is right on it, but leaves the 4. The right way to play the triangle, but those are not always easy to get. It'll be 9 for Mr. Ballard. 63 and 7 is the current score for Terry Ballard. Terry Ballard has the 5th Class F high series at 523, the 7th Class F average spare fill at 5.2. And there's a split there, bucket of 5 in the 7. 4 drop. And he'll leave the 3, the 6, and the 10 on the deck. And there's an 8. 71 in 8 for Terry Ballard. Terry Ballard has the 3rd highest Class F perfect box percentage at 39. The number 2 Class F fewest average pins left at 58.75. We might be waiting on a ball return. There they are. It's funny, Terry Ballard has 4 strikes and 1 spare. Ari has 1 strike and 4 spares. So both are totaling 5 marks overall. And he'll splash 8 and split 8, 4-6 goalposts for Terry Ballard. And he'll get a field goal on the second ball. No mark. It is a difficult shot no matter what. He'll get 2 field goals. And just for his efforts, we'll award him 8 points. 79 and 9 for Terry Ballard. Really not a whole lot you could have done with that shot unless you wanted a trick shot on the second ball, and otherwise it's just pick your favorite stick for the second ball and then pick the remaining stick for the third. Terry Ballard goes off to the left. 6-pack and the 8. Terry Ballard is off target. Leaves 4 in the deck. It's the 1, the 5, the 3, and the 8. Kind of a diamond, kind of not. It'll be a 7. Mr. Churnbutter will finish with a 3-game total of 289 with that 86th third game. He went 4 for 10 on the headpin. He's 14 for 30 on the headpin with 7 splits. 3 games in. Ari Liebamnn coming off the bench with 54 after 5 plus a bonus. We'll see where this goes from here. You're watching the Atlantic Hamlet Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Great to have you along. Ari Liebamnn working on a spare. On the 1-3 pocket, thinly on it, but will split 6, 60 and 5. 2, 4, 7, 9 down there for Ari Liebamnn. And Ari fires for the spare. Oh, and he's a little bit full, just a little bit slightly too full. And I think that's going to be a foul. Yep, indeed a foul. 68 and 6 for Ari Liebamnn. Just keying that in as a foul right now. Automatic score system by Cubica AMF BES. One feature I love about this system, though, is you can do all your score corrections down at the tablets down there. The previous automatic score system at Leda Lanes Pro Score Plus, you had to go up to the front desk to do a score correction every single time, and sometimes that took a little while. Ari on lane 6. Lane box 7. He's off to the right of the headpin. He'll take a Cleary. A Cleary on the left side, named after Bob Cleary of WNDS Candlepin Stars and Strikes. This is the 1, the 2, the 4, the 7, and the 9 version of the Cleary. Ari Liebamnn versus the Cleary. Oh, and he'll take the Cleary. That's what he thinks of the Cleary. That's his 4th mark of the game. Look at this. Great way to take the Cleary for Ari Liebamnn. It was weird. It was thanks to that wood between the 1 and the 2 that tripped the rest of the pins because he hit it a little bit too full in actuality. But it goes. Doesn't matter how it goes. It was a legal ball and a clean hit. And he'll mix down 6. 84 and 7. Four marks this game for Ari Liebamnn, 84 and 7. 1, 2, 4, 8 for a spare. And it goes. Yes, sir. Goodbye. Ari Liebmann's 5th mark of this game, 94 in 8. Watch this. What a shot. See, that's the benefit of throwing full, because that's exactly what you have to do with a shot like that. Ari Liebmann, it's going to the pocket. 1, 2, 8. 102 and 8. And this might really help him out. This actually has reclaimed the total in favor of Ari Liebmann. He's up by 1 now in the total, and he still has a box and a half to go. On the 5-9, the 5-0, and he's just a little bit off to the left. Thought about it a little bit too much. So no 6 mark this game so far for Ari Liebmann, but still 1 more box to go, so we'll see about that. He does have 5 confirmed marks. And another 8 box, or another miss, and an 8 box, 110 in 9 for Mr. Ari Liebmann. Ari Liebmann has a bunch of superlatives in his own right. By the way, he averages 6.63 points per home match. He's home, 11.33 match points per home match, and he's home today. And he's almost on the pocket, just a little bit off to the right. Hits the 4 horsemen left side and the 10 for Ari Liebmann. He has the he has the 5th highest Class F average at 95.55, the 5th highest Class F high single at 128, the number 1 Class F total strikes at 22, the 8th Class F 8th Class F average strike fill at 7.95, the 3rd highest Class F high series at 531, and he almost spares that up. Got very close to doing so. But he's going to have at least 119. And it'll be a 9 box. That's a 119 game 3 for Ari Liebmann. Bit of a redemption story in this particular game because he was down in the first 2 games and really having trouble getting the marks. But 119 game 2 is nothing to shake a stick at. Ari Liebmann, 307 3-game total. He is up in the total by 18 to Terry Ballard's 289 3-game total. And Ari Liebmann takes the 3rd game by 33. Both bowlers, 47% head pins, 14 for 30. 7 splits for Ballard, 8 splits for Liebmann. It's time to go on to the 4th game, and we'll be back in just a couple of seconds here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. And I'm Steve Kelly on the call. This is Terry Ballard at Ari Liebmann. This busy day at Leda Lanes, on this rainy day at Leda Lanes. Lots of rain, lots of business at Leda Lanes. Terry Ballard, who missed the head pin on his first ball, will poke out the 10, the 4, 6, 2, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 after 2 balls. And for the 10 box, will he clean up? He'll leave 1. That's a 9 box for Terry Ballard, 9 after 1. Terry Ballard, longest winning streak defined as more than 7 points per match, has been 4 so far this season. He's off to the right of the head pin there. Half Worcester plus a friend. And he'll punch 1. Just 1. No mark for Terry Ballard. And he'll sail through the void. It's a 4 box for Terry Ballard, 13 after 2 from Mr. Ballard, Mr. Churn Butter, who averages 12 points per away match and 11 points per home match. That's a really good average to have. I wish I had that in my matches right now. Terry Ballard, in his past 4 matches, he's had 8 strikes, 35 spares, and 35 tens. Not counting this match, of course. And an extra pin falls. More pins are still mixing. Wow. Long after he threw the ball. It's now a 6 drop. 1, 3, 7, 8. Terry Ballard on the 1-3. Only the 1-3. Connects with the 1-3 and leaves the 7 and the 8. Terry Ballard, only one of his 4 matches has been without double-digit wins this season so far. That's an 8 box for Terry Ballard. That's 21 after 3 for Mr. Ballard. Thanks for tuning into the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, the best place to watch some of the most exciting Candlepin matches from a wide selection of bowlers from all skill levels. We're having a fantastic time here at Leda Lanes in this Class F North match between Terry Ballard and Ari Liebamnn. And Terry Ballard, will he get another strike? He almost does. The 9-pin is all that's left on the deck. Piece of wood just rolling out of play. Hopefully it just finds its way into the nearest available exit. But it looks like we're going to have to pause real briefly to retrieve that. So we'll just wait on that as Ari Liebamnn very graciously goes down to check that out. So to continue our lecture on how to read the scoreboard, in case you don't know or are confused about anything, up in the top left of your screen on the main screen, we have the bowler initials up at the top, the point distribution up to the current box, what game we're on, as well as the match total followed by the game total, and in the gray, it's the differences. So they will flip-flop around based on what point in the match we are or who's ahead of whom, and that's the general idea of how that happens. So if you're wondering what the heck is going on with the point differentials, that's what that means. It's updated live. And there's a spare for Terry Ballard all the while. 31 and a bonus after 4. He's just going to pause real quick just to get that piece of wood out of the gutter. Hope this broadcast finds you well. Everyone involved here, from the bowlers to the staff you cannot see, all appreciate your viewership and interest in the world of Candlepin bowling. We are at Leda Lanes today, opened in 1959, 65-ish years ago. Leda Lanes is family-owned and operated in Nashua, New Hampshire, founded by Edgar and Ray Semino, now owned by Sean Howard and Alexis Howard Booley. And that's an 8 box and an 8 fill, an 8 drop for Terry Ballard. 39 and 4. And Terry Ballard, just off, just a little bit off. The amount of times I've said that to myself when I missed shots like that. And I'll miss again, this time the right overcorrecting. That'll be a 47.5 for Mr. Ballard. Mr. Churn Butter, 2 for 5 on the head pin this game. 16 for 35 on the head pin with 7 splits. That's a 47.5 with 1 spare for Mr. Terry Ballard. That score is confirmed. He's got a 3.5 game total of 336. We now have Ari Liebamnn stepping up to lane 5. Ari Liebamnn, the mullet man himself, keeping the spirit of the 80s alive. This is his first season in the ACST. And off he goes. Lane 5. Opening ball. Drop 6. Drop 7. 1, 2, 4. Ari Liebamnn went on a tear of marks in the 3rd game, in case you missed it. Made a fantastic run of it to kind of reclaim the grand total pinfall, at least for the moment. And will he spare it up? He was on the right object pin, but he was just maybe borderline a little too full. Just couldn't quite make the conversion. And he'll take a 10 box, 10 after 1 for Mr. Ari Liebamnn. 14 for 31 on the head pin with 8 splits. Compare that to Terry Ballard, who's 4 boxes ahead. 16 for 35 on the head pin with 7 splits. Comes Ari Liebamnn. On the 1-2 pocket. Splashes pins around. He'll leave the 3 triangle on the deck. That's the 3, the 5, and the 6. Oh, and he's just a little bit too full. Yeah, that's the thing about triangles. They can be really tricky. If you hit it a little bit too dead on, that happens. And Ari Liebamnn will take another one out. Do the best he can with that. That's 19 after 2 for Mr. Ari Liebamnn. It's only a difference of 10 in the grand total pinfall in Terry Ballard's favor. Ari Liebamnn has 3 boxes to make that up. So he's still in good positioning for the grand total pinfall. Terry Ballard took the first 2 games. Ari Liebamnn took the 3rd game. So Terry Ballard has 4 points confirmed, and Ari Liebamnn has 2 points confirmed as of right now. And he's off to the left of the head pin, and that's a cleary. That's a right side cleary. This is the 1, the 3, the 6, the 10, and the 8. And Ari Liebamnn made the cleary before, but not this time. And in the match with Jordan Britton and Dave LaRoche last night, we also had a cleary spare in that match as well. I believe Jordan Britton was the one who made that shot, if I'm not mistaken. Be sure to check that match out either on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook or on 3 Ball Spare on YouTube. That match we streamed last night. And it was a heck of a match. It was a very competitive, very close match. Both bowlers definitely went to war for the totals they got. And you can find out all about that on that match if you go watch it later on. That's a 9-drop for Ari Liebamnn. The 5 pin is left on the deck, the king pin, and there's a pin way out of play, and it looks like we're going to have to go down to retrieve it if it doesn't roll out of play. Looks very likely that it won't. Terry Ballard will go down to do the honors. Thank you, Terry, for retrieving that. Leda Lanes features all wood approaches with all wood lanes, along with sensor-based automatic scoring software known as BES by Cubica AMF. Leda Lanes features 36 lanes, 18 on each side of the house. This afternoon, we're on the side with lanes 1 through 18. And there's a spare for Ari Liebamnn, worth the weight on that single-pin spare. That's 37 and a bonus and 4 for Ari Liebamnn. This is still a close game overall. 39 after 4 for Terry Ballard. 37 and a bonus after 4 for Ari Liebamnn. Just doing some lane clearing down there. Leda Lanes' Easter Classic will be coming up very soon here. Sign-ups are very, very, very full. And actually, the wait list is also pretty crazy long. If you want to come down to watch the Easter Classic, be sure to come down here on Easter Sunday, and I guarantee you it'll be a great one. That's a 1 fill for Ari Liebamnn, though, all the while. On the 10 pin, rides the rail on the right. Thought about it a little bit too much. Ari Liebamnn for the makeup shot. Oh, it almost all goes. The 5 pin was even touched. Almost spares it up. So to end the half, he's going to have a potential 48 half, which will still put him at... So he'll have a 47 no matter what, and if he can take this 5 pin, it'll be a 48 half, so it'll just be a difference of 1 at the maximum between Terry Ballard at the half, 3.5 games in. So still very close, and it will be. So advantage Ari Liebamnn by 1. 48 to Terry Ballard's 47, a difference of 1 in the game. Ari Liebamnn, thanks to that run of marks in the previous game, he's holding on to the total by 19 right now. 46% head pin percentage for both bowlers, dead even, 16 for 35, 7 splits for Terry Ballard, 8 splits for Ari Liebamnn. So this is a very even match, especially down to the more granular numbers now, more than halfway through the match. And Terry churns 7 pins, churns 8 pins even, 6-7 on the deck. And he almost connects with the 6, but doesn't quite do it. And he'll take a 9 box. You need that lane?
Is there a way I can scoot that over a little?
Yeah, you can move. Yeah, like literally just that way, or
I just don't want to. I don't want someone to hit. So if I move it to like the middle, is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I can adjust that. Sorry, we're So it's a very busy house today. The front camera is going to be moving a little bit. Matt Susi is just going to nudge it over a little bit, and that's not a problem. We'll just adjust that in a little bit here. It's because he's going to activate lane 8. I'll give him the thumbs up because I can actually adjust the positioning of that camera in software, so not a big deal. All good. And there's a spare for Terry Ballard all the while. And I think I have that on replay. Check that out. Kind of. 10-second replay buffer, so I'll give it a second. It was a quick one, though. Took everything out. There was the spare for Terry Ballard. All right, Terry Ballard. Working on a spare. To the right of the head pin, he drops 5 and fills with 5. 71 and 7 for Terry Ballard. And for the spare, he's just off to the left. Yeah, it really is amazing. This place was basically empty about an hour and some change ago, and now it's almost full. And actually, if it gets much more... Ooh, nice 10 box, though, for Terry Ballard, 81 and 8. Actually, if this place gets much more busy, I might need to actually bring back the front cam and get it out of the lane that it's currently taking up. Here we go. We'll just adjust that in software here. Yes, so that's always the challenge, streaming at a busy house, especially in the rain. Place gets busy in the rain. The front-facing camera is always the camera that I always have to drop in the event that we need to give the lane back that it's taking up. And Terry Ballard leaves the 1 and the 2. That'll be an 8 box. Do have 1 score adjustment I'm just making as I look up there. That's a 6 fill on the spare. And are we caught up? We are caught up. 90 and 9 for Terry Ballard now. 17 for 39 on the head pin for Terry Ballard today with 8 splits. Terry churned butter. And he'll mix down 8. 5 and 10 on the deck. This is a difficult shot to convert. We saw Peter Crawford Jr. convert the 5-7 with no wood in my match earlier this week. Yeah, that was this week. God, it's been a long week. And that's be an 8 box for Terry Ballard. 98 in the 4th game for a 4-game total of 387 for Mr. Terry Ballard. Ari Liebamnn currently at 355 with a 48 halfway through the 4th game. All right, Ari Liebamnn looking to finish the second half of the 4th game here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. It's a test of distractions today. We had this whole side of the house to ourselves probably about an hour ago, and now we've got wall-to-wall people in here pretty much. Ari Liebamnn to the right of the head pin takes out the 6 triangle and leaves everything else. He's shooting for a spare now. And it'll take out the back left half now, or back left chunk, not really a half. He's got the 1 diamond and the 8 to shoot at for a 10 box. And Ari Liebamnn for the 10 box to clean up, and it'll be a nice 10 box. A nice full shot on that head pin resulted in a 10 box for Ari Liebamnn. In fact, let's take a look at that because the analysis of this shot is just looking at how full the ball has to be, and you see it like it did not waver off course. Because if it was too much of a splash, it wouldn't have been a 10 box. Would have left at least 1 pin on the deck. Ari Liebamnn drops 5. It's like a super cleary. The 4 horsemen left in the 6. And he's off target, connects with the 4 and the 7, and the 1, the 2, and the 6 are left on the deck for Ari Liebamnn. And Ari will take a 9 out of that mess. 67 in 7 for Ari Liebamnn. Lanes 33 and 34, Leda lanes in particular, are famous for being the lanes featured in the tapings for the Winds of New England, Candlepin Stars and Strikes in the late 90s and early 2000s, after the show transitioned away from the late Park Place lanes in Windham, New Hampshire. And Ari's off to the left of the head pin. Leaves a pile of pins in the center. When the show came to WNDS, it was a bit of a rebranding. New graphics, new music, new intros, new hosts. Dick Lutz and Mike Morin replacing Doug Brown and Dan Murphy at the time. The show was hosted at Leda Lanes until it ended in 2005. And lanes 33 and 34, you can actually kind of see them in the background here. You can see the lighting fixtures, those yellow-looking things up in the ceiling. Those are the WNDS Stars and Strikes lighting fixtures. And Ari, he'll take a few down. Kind of an interesting, delicate dance of pins. And it will be a 7 for 74 and 8. And the 98 is confirmed for Terry Ballard. A lot of fairly even stats, although the headpin stat is diverging a little bit in favor of Terry Ballard right now. Splits are mostly almost identical with a difference of 1. And Ari will take a few off the left side, left half. 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, 7. That's what he's shooting at. And Ari Liebamnn full on the headpin there. 7, 9, 10, 6. And Ari will take a nice out of a 9, 83 and 9. And at this point, he needs a mark to be able to take the 4th game. He took the 3rd game, and to keep this a very competitive match, if he can get a mark and a decent fill to surpass 98, Ari Liebmann will be in good shape. But this is a must-mark situation here in the 10th. He's 16 for 39 on the headpin with 8 splits. Terry Ballard is 18 for 40 on the headpin with 9 splits. And Ari, oh my goodness, he leaves the... Jeez. That's a... wow. Wow. Leaves the back row, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grandma's teeth, Greek church, and that's a foul. That's an unfortunate foul. It's going to be a -2 on whatever that ends up being. Ari's even going down to mark that now. So this 4th game will go in favor of Terry Ballard. That does shift the balance of points a little less evenly in favor of Terry Ballard. And that will be a 6-box for Ari Liebmann, I believe. And yes, it will be. Just double-checking. 89 is the 4th game for Ari Liebmann. A 4-game total of 396 for Ari Liebmann, and a 4-game total of 387 for Terry Ballard. That is confirmed all the way around. Terry Ballard is 45% on the head pin today. Ari Liebmann 43, 18 for 40 for Terry, and 17 for 40 for Ari. And Terry Ballard, again, just very far ahead in terms of the strike game. 4 strikes to Ari Liebmann's 1. But Terry Ballard currently staying afloat and keeping things definitely competitive. Ari Liebmann currently holds on to the total by 9 at this point in time. Here we go. Terry Ballard. Terry Churn Butter will churn a half Worcester on the right side. He punches the 3 and the 9. And Ballard on the 1-2 pocket leaves the 5 and 6. And Ballard will take a 9 to start things out here in the 5th and final game, which is worth a lot of points because since the total was 9 going into this 5th and final game, that means it's nearly a 1-string roll-off with a 9-pin handicap in favor of Ari Liebmann. Terry Ballard just neutralized that 9 in the first, but he only has 9 boxes to go. And he's on the headpin there, and he splits 6. The 4-pin is really thinking about falling. 4, 6, 3, 10. The 4-pin even slightly moved off its spot from what I can see. Terry Ballard will sail through the middle into the ocean. Yeah, the 5th and final game is worth 2 points, obviously, for the 5th game, but it's also your last chance to reclaim 4 points for the grand total pinfall, and if it's really close, it's basically a 6-point 5th game. Very similar situation with Jordan Britton and Dave LaRoche last night, too, where we went into the 5th game almost exactly even. Makes it really exciting. Really hair-raising, but really exciting as a spectator sport, for sure. And Terry Ballard on the head pin. Pins are still mixing. And it will be a split of 7 and 8 after all settles down there. And Terry Ballard will take the spare. Great shot by Terry Ballard. There's the replay. Had a lumberyard in front of the 7 and the 8, and everything just went. And Ballard filling a spare with 6, and that will be a banana split. And Terry Ballard on the banana. He'll take 2 of the 4. 33 and 3 for Terry Ballard. Oh, and what a nice 10 box, though. Very similar to Ari Liebamnn's sweep of the 7-10 earlier. Terry Ballard did a very similar thing. Actually, let's watch that. You see those 2 pieces of wood in front of the 10? He caps the rightmost wood and pushes the wood on the left over to the 7. Terry Ballard thinking long and hard about his next ball to conclude the final first half of the match for him today. And Terry Ballard on the head pin again, and with an awkward split of 5. That's the 5, 7, 10, 3, 9. And for the spare, he's on the object, but just kind of nudges things around, leaves the 7 and the 9. Terry Ballard went 4 for 5 on the head pin this half with 4 splits. So this will be for a 10 box. And he'll take a 9. That's 52 after 5 for Terry Ballard. 1 spare and a 6 fill, 2 9 boxes and a 10 box, along with an 8 box for Terry Ballard. 49% of the head pins so far today. 22 for 45 on the head pin with 13 splits. That's the story for Terry Ballard. Ari Liebamnn now. Next on deck. Test slide, getting ready to go. Here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. It's great to have you along here in the second quarter of the 5th game. Here comes Ari Liebamnn. To the right of the head pin, drop 6, 1, 2, 4, 8. Here comes Ari. To the right of the head pin, just a little bit off target. Missing his target by just a little bit. Six or greater for Ari. Again, missing the object pin, but he'll get 2 out of it. So that's an 8 box, 8 after 1 for Ari Liebamnn. Leda Lanes has a bar called Kegler's Den, which offers an impressive number of taps, drinks, food, entertainment, karaoke, and plenty of other things. Fun fact, a kegler is a term used to refer to a participant in a bowling game. It's a very old-timey term. Plaque on the wall by Kegler's Den reads, quote, "During the Middle Ages, various forms of bowling became popular in European countries. The English bowled in the 1100s. Around the 1300s, the Germans rolled or threw stones at wooden clubs called kegels. Today, bowlers are still often known as keglers." It's the story of Kegler's Den and the term keglers, brought to you by Leda Lanes and Kegler's Den on Amherst Street in Nashua, New Hampshire. Ari Liebamnn, the 1-8-9. And ouch. He'll take an 8 box. Just missing the target by a little bit. That's 16 after 2 for Ari Liebamnn. And the 52 half for Terry Ballard is confirmed on the electronic scoreboard down there. Here's Ari. On the head pin there. Mixes down 9. It was almost a split, but the 10 pin fell late. He's got the 7-pin to shoot at, but there is a cap down there. A cap of a piece of wood with the cap facing us specifically. If he caps that, might be unpredictable, but he don't need no cap. He don't need no wood. Ari Liebamnn plays correctly, the pin directly. That's 26 after 3 for Ari Liebamnn. Ari Liebamnn, 26 and a bonus after 3. He fires on the 1-3 pocket. Split 6, fills 6, 32 after 3. Puts him at a very competitive pace against Terry Ballard, who is at 33 after 3, just a difference of 1. 7-10-2-5. Oh, and he'll connect with a 5, and oddly enough, it'll kick forward and take the entire left half, but it'll leave the 10. And Ari will take a 9 for 41 and 4. Leda Lanes hosts many large tournaments throughout the year. Most recent one was Luck of the Irish. There's also the Halloween Scramble, and of course Ray's Easter Classic, 20-string tournament on Easter Sunday that brings out the best bowlers from both the U.S. and Canada for a huge Easter Sunday Super Bowl. And that's a 7 drop for Ari Liebamnn. 1-3-7. That's Masusi down there walking back on lane 2, just working on a sensor fix. And Ari Liebamnn will punch the 3, and it will dance around the 7 but not take it. Clears the deck, but he leaves the 1 and the 7 on the deck. And that's an 8 box for Ari. That'll be a 49.5. Compare that to Terry Ballard's 52.5. It's a difference of 3 in the game in Terry Ballard's favor and a difference of 6 in the total. 4.5 game total of 439 for Terry Ballard. 4.5 game of 445 for Ari Liebamnn. This is a close match. So it will be an interesting split of points. It might be an 8-6 split. We'll find out what happens here on the ACST. And here comes Terry Ballard on the 1-2 pocket. Pins are still mixing. He lifts the right back corner big arrow. The 9, the 10, the 3, and the 6 on the deck. Oh, and he'll careen on a cap of a piece of wood, and it'll deflect everything, and all the pins are safe down there right now. Terry Ballard has been perfect on the head pin since the second box. And he'll leave 2 on the deck for an 8 box for 60 and 6 for Terry Ballard. That is confirmed. Terry Ballard, Terry churn butter, season record of 45 and 11. He's only bowled 4 matches, but again, he's a mid-season substitute for Michael Brown mid-season in Class F North Division 1. And when he's away, he's 12 and 2. He's only bowled 1 match, but that's a great record. And there's another strike, yet another strike for Mr. Terry Ballard. And we'll get a replay for that in just a second as I just get my bearings here. Here's that replay. It's another one of those explosive, decisive strikes, and it was on the 1-3 pocket. That was Terry Ballard and his strike, churning some butter in the best way possible. Fresh hot butter from the hills of New Hampshire. I don't know about hills. I don't know what I'm saying. On the double for Terry Ballard, he almost, well, he'll get a nice mix of 6 out of that. Almost was a split, but now it's a spare leave. 2-4-7. Oh, and he's just a little bit off to the right, and that will be a 7 fill on his strike. 77 and 7 for Terry Ballard. And he'll take an out of a 9, 86 and 8 for Terry Ballard. He's been perfect on the head pin this entire game, except for the first box. He has 4 splits this game. 25 for 48 on the head pin. He now has a 52 head pin completion percentage. 13 splits. Terry has been averaging 7.5 splits per match, so he's almost doubled that this game, or this match, to give you some perspective. Compared to his other matches, 86 and 8 is confirmed for Terry Ballard after the score corrections down there, and, he'll spare himself the lemon drop penalty, but He'll punch the 4 and the 8. And he'll take one more. 6-pack and the 7 now. Needs to get just a couple more pins. Probably an 8, 9, or 10 box will still look pretty good. And he'll make a 6 out of it. 92 and 9 for Terry Ballard. 479 series total so far with one box to go. This is Terry Ballard's 5th match of the season, from what I could tell. Terry Ballard, a little full on the head pin, splits 6, 4, 6, 3, 10. His final stats for head pins, 26 for 50 today, over 50%, 52% to be exact. And he had 14 splits. That's more than double his normal average of splits. Terry Ballard connects with the wood, takes the 4, leaves the 3, 6, 10. So he'll have a ceiling of 102 for the 5th game with a 99 guarantee right now. And he'll take an 8. Oops, I said he'll take an 8 for a 100 in the 5th. For 487 for a 5-game total for Terry Ballard today. 5 strikes, 4 spares, 52% on the head pin. And he currently has the game by 51, 5 boxes ahead. That's the benchmark for Ari Liebamnn to attain, and the total is just within 42. So Ari Liebamnn can definitely overtake this if he just has a good hot half. So here we go. The final quarter of the 5th game here at the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour in the home stretch. Before we go today, I'd like to say thanks to a couple of folks, including our ACST committee members, including our league commissioner, Danny Finn, our Class F treasurer, Ryan Preus, our ACST statistician, Micah Imperato, the staff at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, Steve Abodeely for some of the B-roll and photography you've seen today and some of the interlude shots. You can check out his work at stabodeely.com. STABODEELY.com is the website. Always like to thank viewers like you for watching as well. Always appreciate you watching anywhere, however, whyever, whoever, just thanks for watching. Always appreciate you. If you enjoyed what you saw and want to see more, I invite you to strike, comment, subscribe to the multiverse of Candlepin Bowling, such as the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook as well as YouTube, the Candlepin Chat group on Facebook, Candlepin Corner on YouTube, Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, 3 Ball Spare on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. That's an 8 box in the 6 for Ari Liebamnn, 57 and 6. Check out Outrun the Bear on Facebook and Instagram, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok, Alley Chat on YouTube, Bowling with the Gothiers on YouTube, Wolfman12395 on YouTube for uploads of classic Candlepin matches of yesteryear, the Candlepin Bowling channel on YouTube, the Ripping the Rack podcast on YouTube, the Approach podcast on Facebook, Tony Levesque on YouTube, and Charlie Collins on TikTok. If I missed anybody, please let me know. I've got a huge long list, and I feel like it's always getting longer and longer. It's 1, 2, and 4 for Ari. He whiffed the spare shot. And that'll be a 9 for Ari Liebamnn. $66 and 7 compared to Terry Ballard's $77 and 7. Bit of a gap forming in terms of the head pins. Ari Liebmann's currently at 19 for 47. Terry Ballard is 26 for 50. Ari is off to the left of the head pin. That's 5 pins on the right and 1 pin on the left. That's the 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, 7. Piece of wood spliced in between the 3 and the 6. And he almost takes everything out for a spare. The sleeper pin was untouched, the 9 pin. Great shot on the left of the head pin on the Brooklyn side. 9 or 10 for Ari Liebamnn. It'll be a 10, 76 and 8. If he can go on a run of marks, he can take everything here. It's currently a difference of 15 in the total for Terry Ballard. So Ari Liebamnn could take the total in these next 2 boxes if he totals 16 or higher. And if he can just really go on a mark run, he'll take that game back. Do or die. I think it's going to be an 8-6-6 split, no matter which way we slice it. And he's off to the left of the head pin, takes 2 out on the left side in the back corner. Oh, and he's on the pocket, on the 1-3 pocket. It was a great bid, but the offer was not accepted. The 5-pin is left on the deck. He'll be shooting for a 10. So the 10th box is going to be a must-mark situation for Ari Liebamnn when it comes to the game. And he'll take a 9. 85 in 9 for Ari Liebamnn. It's a difference of 6 in the total. The total is worth 4 points. So there's a chance Terry Ballard will take 8 and Ari Liebamnn will take 6 unless he gets hot with a mark here. And here comes Ari Liebamnn to the right of the head pin, and he'll leave a Cleary on the deck. He made the Cleary before, earlier in this match, so we'll see if he makes it again. I believe it was actually the same side, even if I'm not mistaken. Ari Liebamnn on the Cleary. He takes the Cleary for the second time today. So he'll mark it up. That's 95 in 10. There goes the Cleary. Look at that fist bump. He was super happy and super pumped about that. So he's now got the total by 4, and he's got the game by 5. If he can take a 6 fill, he's gonna... Yeah, you know what I mean. He's gonna take 2 more points. Final ball of the match. And there it is, a 7 fill, and he gets it done. Ari Liebamnn in the final box, literally clutching it out in the final box. We'll take back the total as well as the game for a 102 in Game 5 for a 5-game total of 598 versus Terry Ballard's 487. Holy moly, what a match. Right down to literally the final box. Ari Liebamnn claws it back at the very end with that clutch spare and that clutch 7. The spare was on the Cleary even. So that is going to be the match. Ari Liebamnn will take 8 points and Terry Ballard will take 6. It was a very, very close back and forth all throughout the entire match. So 498 Ari Liebamnn to 487 Terry Ballard. Ari Liebamnn walks out of here with 8. Terry Ballard walks out of here with 6. In terms of the headpin percentage, Terry Ballard was 52% to Ari Liebmann's 38%. Terry Ballard, the most unlucky with the splits, 14 to Ari Liebmann's 10, and more than doubling his season average for splits. So, what a heck of a match. What a friggin' barn burner that was. Terry Ballard will move to 61 and 121. Ari Liebamnn will move to 129 and 81. And that will be the story for today's Class F match here at Leda Lanes on this very busy day at Leda Lanes. So that will be it from us today. If you want to check out all of these fine YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and whatever it is channels, check it all out here in the Candlepin Multiverse. And there's also Candlepin Chat, Alley Chat, you know, all the ones we talked about earlier, the Ripping the Rack podcast, the Approach podcast, Tony Levesque. My channel is 3Ball Spare on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Just search 3Ball Spare on Facebook, or just search 3Ball Spare on YouTube and Twitch, whichever you'd like. And of course, if you want to go bowling, and a lot of people have chosen to go bowling today, go to candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center all over New England and Eastern Canada. So anyways, I've been Steve Kelly, and for Terry Ballard and Ari Liebamnn, it's been great broadcasting this to you today from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, and we'll see you at the next Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match. Have a great one, everyone. Good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is. Talk to you later. Bye.